In today's video, I'm going to show you guys the top 5 mods for this bike right here, the Suzuki Boulevard M50. I have owned 3 of these over the years, put tens of thousands of miles on them, and I'm going to tell you the top 5 mods I do every time I buy a new one, because apparently this bike is like a drug. Every time I quit, I just end up falling for it again. First modification is called the Uncle Abe exhaust mod. And yes, I'm talking about modifying your exhaust right from the get-go so you guys can just get that flame war started in the comment section. Loud pipes don't do it, blah, blah, blah. It's not about loud pipes, hear me out. It's for people who you don't necessarily want all of the noise of an aftermarket pipe, but you just wish you could let out a little bit more of that V-twin rumble. This is kind of a nice little gentle in-between. Your mufflers were designed for 2 things. 1, emissions, and 2, noise reduction. Let me show you something to explain. Theoretically, this steel pipe should be able to go all the way through until about down here, right? But it doesn't. Check this out. Put the pipe in there. It can only get about, not even a foot. That's because there isn't one straight passage that goes through. There's a series of different chambers in here. The air comes through this way, and then it can't get through the next part until up here, and then it can't get through the next part until down here. And the reason why they do that is because this, having to go like this, it makes it quieter. There's more channels in there where the sound can get locked into, less noise coming out. So what you're doing with this is you just put the tube in there. I believe it's either 1/2 inch or 3/8, I can't remember, look it up. And you just hammer it. You break that first wall, you break that second wall, and then you stop. There's 2. 1, 2. Very easy way of letting out a little bit more V-twin rumble without being crazy and aggressive loud like aftermarket pipes are, or removing your baffles are. If you're thinking you want a little bit more noise, but you're not sure you want to spend the money just yet, that is a great way of doing it. Second modification you should do has to do with your brakes. Now, Suzuki gives us this really nice big disc brake up front, and that's great. The disc brake on the Boulevard is actually the same size as on the GSXR, which is kind of cool. Except there's just one problem. The GSXR has 2 discs. Boulevard only has 1. Stopping power on this bike is not great. To make matters worse, they give you this antiquated drum brake on the rear. And then to further add insult to potential injury, you get rubber brake lines. And why is that a bad thing? Well, rubber brake lines do not perform consistently under pressure, and they kind of deteriorate and they wear away. They're not as good as this. Indian comes with a steel braided brake line. It's going to give you maximum braking force and maximum braking feel, which is going to help you come to a better and more controlled stop, even and especially in the event of an emergency. Side note, I make videos all about how to service this bike. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see them. I have a video showing you guys how to do an oil change. I have a video showing you guys how to bleed the brake fluid. I have a video showing you guys how to change the shaft drive fluid. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see those. Back to the video. Now that we know we can come to a stop from a faster speed, we should talk about going faster altogether. Motorcycles in general, and this Suzuki is no exception, they don't come tuned for performance. They come tuned for emissions and for fuel economy. And that means you're not getting the best performance that you can. But there are still a few things we can do. What air filter you choose can make a huge difference on performance. This from factory uses a paper air filter. There are other options. I have a video I will link to over here on all the different air filter types and which one might be best for you. But if you were to switch to a more free breathing air filter, you'll be able to let a lot more air into the bike. Then that has to go somewhere, right? So we go whoop over here. Exhaust pipes, also very restrictive. We get rid of these, we put a more free-flowing set of exhaust pipes on there. Now we can breathe more air in, more air out. But that makes a problem. Do not do just this. See, your motorcycles, all internal combustion engines really, what's critical to them is your AF ratio, which is your air to fuel ratio. What you want to do is manage how much fuel it's getting. So you get a fuel processor, Cobra FI 2000, you get a power commander on there, any kind of fuel processor on there, and it's going to manage how much fuel the bike should get relative to how much air it's getting at different RPMs. That way you're always getting maximum performance. Now, is doing the whole stage 1 kit and getting rid of your mufflers and all that stuff going to make your M50 like a big performance machine? No, it's not. There's no replacement for displacement, right? More CCs, more power, but it's not uncommon to see people get an extra 5 horsepower. And 5 horsepower on a 45 horsepower motor, that's over 10% increase, right? So that's decent. So if you do wish your bike had just a little bit more punch to it, Stage 1 kit is a great mod for you. So now that you were super smart and you upgraded your brakes first and then you upgraded the bike's performance second, if you really want to be faster on this thing, get rid of those. You see what that says right there? IRC. These are the stock tires that come with the bike. Awful tires. Do you know what IRC stands for? Irritating rolling crap. They are garbage. I don't care. I won't start the whole Pirelli, Metzler, whatever debate. I don't care what you get. Get rid of these IRCs. These are rolling death traps. Just get rid of the IRCs. If you really want to be a fast rider around corners and really tear shit up on this bike, get good tires. Get a good premium name brand, not IRCs. Side note, if you just want to like fair weather rider, you know, just take it slow and like grandma drive these things. If you're there like, my IRC tires are fine. Grandma, your IRC tires are totally fine. Rock them, that's cool. But yeah, if you want to be more aggressive with the bike, better tires. The next mod you're going to want to do is replacing the stock H4 headlight with LED. And I'm not talking about one of those crazy LEDs that are like, and just blind your oncoming traffic. They're like, ah, right? I'm just talking about a bulb. Like 1800 lumens, 1600 lumens is more than enough. You don't have to go to like the 10,000 lumens. That's craziness. People are going to hate you. But at 1600 lumens, you're going to be anywhere from like 2 to 3 times brighter than the stock bulb without being enough to bother anybody else on the road. And it's going to have 3 major benefits for you. The first one is because things are going to be brighter and more easier to identify, your brain's going to have more time to react to what it is it's seeing. Makes you safer that way. The second way it helps you is it will make you be much more visible to other traffic. I put an $18 bulb in pretty much all of my bikes. The likelihood of someone just making a left turn in front of me is just like so much less because there's no excuse of I didn't see you coming. And the third benefit of it is it uses about 1/3 as much power from your battery and your charging system as a regular incandescent bulb that comes stock with the bike. So you get more light out of it, but it uses less power. That's really good if you want to do stuff like maybe added heated grips, adding like a charger for your phone, and you just want to make the least amount of extra wear on your charging system. It's a great mod and definitely worth it. Hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please hit the like button. If you want to see more M50 content, please hit subscribe. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know down below. Obviously, there's other mods you can do like windscreen, saddlebags, that sort of thing. But these are the mods that I think are really sort of common to everybody. Not everybody's into touring, yada, yada, yada. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Ride safe. Peace.